everyone, today we're going to make these really cool looking crochet bat appliques. These are really easy to make, they're really fun, and I tried to make this pattern as simple as possible. And you can use them for hats, bandanas, headbands. They're amazing and perfect for the Halloween season. And bonus, I have a project later this week that will feature these bat appliques. So let's get started. Oh, but before we do, remember you can find the free written instructions for this pattern and many other crochet patterns on my website, tiffanybliss.com. If you want to buy some crochet items, I actually make them and sell them in my shop. You can go to shop.tiffanybliss.com and purchase some of the things I've made. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. For this project, you'll need yarn. I'm just using regular cotton yarn. A crochet hook. I'm using an H5mm. A yarn needle for weaving in the ends at the end. And scissors. So to get started, you're going to make a loop and chain 17. Once you've chained 17, you're going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. Then you're going to single crochet in the next 3 chains. Half double crochet in the next chain. Single crochet in the next chain. Half double crochet in the next chain. Now we're going to place a double crochet in the next 2 chains. So double crochet, double crochet, now we'll place a half double crochet in the next chain, single crochet in the next, half double crochet, and then the last chains we're going to place single crochets in the last 4 chains. So single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn. So now we're going to work across this row, and this will be the bottom of our bat. So we're going to slip stitch into the first chain. Oops. And then in the next stitch, we're going to make a single crochet. And in that same stitch, we're going to make a half double crochet. And then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. In the second chain from the hook, we're going to slip stitch. This is going to make our point. And in the next chain, the very first chain you made of that chain 3, we're going to put a single crochet for the bottom of our point. Now, working down below where we put the single crochet and the half double crochet, we're going to put another single crochet. And that is the first point of our bat right here. We're going to be working across the bottom. In the next 2 stitches, we're going to place a single crochet. So, single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. Now we're coming up to another point. We're going to place a single crochet. All of this is worked in the same stitch. A half double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the first stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, and then another single crochet in that same space where you put the single crochet in the half double before. So now we're going to place a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. And now in this stitch, we're going to place a half double crochet. This is going to be the big point at the end, so it's a little bit bigger. So we're putting a half double crochet in this stitch and a double crochet. And then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops. And we're going to place a slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. And then a single crochet into that very first chain we made. Now we're not going back into that stitch. We're going to go to the next one. And in this next stitch, we're going to place a double crochet and a half double crochet. And this will complete our middle point, just like this. In the next 2 stitches, you're going to place a single crochet in each stitch. So 1 single crochet, 2nd single crochet. And now in this stitch, we're going to make another point. So single crochet, half double crochet, chain 3, 2, 3, slip stitch into the second chain from the hook, single crochet into the first chain we made. And now back into that same stitch, another single crochet. Now we're going to place a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Single crochet 1, next stitch, single crochet 2, and now we make our last point, which is a single crochet, half double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the second chain from the hook, and single crochet into that first chain we made, and then single crochet into the stitch that we just worked in. In the very last stitch right here, we're going to slip stitch, and it can be really hard to get this, but I'm using a yarn needle. You just want to get that last stitch right there. We're going to slip stitch into that last stitch. Once you've slip stitched into that last stitch, you're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to slip stitch into the first chain we made. And now we're going to be working across the top to make the top of our bat right like this one. So we just completed here, and now we're going to be working this way. So we're going around. Now, if you want to take a look at this really quick, you have 3 middle stitches right here, and you should have 7 on each side. So now, working across the top, we're going to slip stitch 2 together for the first stitch. So pull up a loop in the next one, and pull through 2. We're going to slip stitch in the next stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch 2 together again for the next stitch. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, and now pull through the 2 loops. Slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and now that brings us to the middle, And this is where we're going to place our bat ears. So we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch to make our first bat ear. And we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. Single crochet into the first chain we made. Now we're going to slip stitch back into that same stitch where we started the bat ear, and that completes our first bat ear. Now we're going to single crochet into the next stitch, and we're going to make our second bat ear. So slip stitch into that stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. Single crochet into the first chain we made. And slip stitch back into that same stitch. We're going to slip stitch into the first 2 stitches. 1, 2, slip stitch 2 together in the next stitches. So pull up a loop in the next stitch, pull up a loop in the next stitch, and pull through 2. Slip stitch into the next stitch. We're going to slip stitch 2 together for the next stitch. 1, 2, pull through 2. And then this last chain space right here, we're just going to slip stitch into that and then slip stitch into this last stitch right here that I just made really big. And that's it. Now, once you get it all sewn up and shaped up, it'll look really great. And that's it. If you'd like the free written pattern for this applique and many other crochet items, please visit my website, tiffanybliss.com. If you're interested in purchasing crochet items, I also sell things in my shop, shoptiffanybliss.com. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I'll see you next time.